Okay, let's do that. All right. Thank you everyone for joining today's workshop, part two of creating a mimoLive show document for extra hours. Uh, I am going to be just providing information. Alexander Knight is going to do the work. Special guest is Achim, who is going to help us figure out the automation stuff if we want to. So this is going to be a very interesting um, this is going to be a very interesting workshop and a lot of uh, brain power this time for um, figuring stuff out. Last time we sort of left off with the problem that we had three picture-in-picture spaces on the screen, but we wanted to be able to assign 9 different people or 8 different people to that. So how do we pull that off so we can say, this person should be in this um, picture in picture, the other person should be there. And after the show, I had the discussion with Achim how we will change future mimoLive to make that happen, and then we came up, we remembered that there's already a neat trick in mimoLive that allows you to create submixes. Or what's also called as an ME. And that's what we're going to cover today. And also, Alex wanted to be able to automatically fetch the names for the lower thirds from the Zoom meeting sources, and we're going to hopefully pull that off as well. So let's get started. Everyone, Alexander, take it away.
Okay. Oliver, should I start with joining the test meeting to pull in some sources here?
Um, you probably should start with just giving a quick overview of the document, what's the current status and what we created last time.
Sure. Okay. So we've talked about this last week. So basically, what we did was we created a template here. Now, this is primarily for the extra
Well, you
hour
need to
show.
share the screen.
Oh,
No.
yes. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Let me
That
do
would
that.
be very
Okay.
nice, yes. So we can.
Okay. Hold on. Share desktop. Okay. Everyone sees that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, so this is what we kind of left last week. So we basically kind of created a skeleton outline of the template here for extra hours. So I guess we'll start from left to right. So starting with our sources here, and I've grouped them here. So we've got obviously a way to bring in our questions from our Mukana question system in here, which is just a web browser source. That's pretty straightforward. All the assets for the show, that's fairly self-explanatory, like our countdown clock. And then, of course, our Zoom ISO sources. Now, actually, I forgot about I forgot about this, Oliver. But since last week, when I was shadow cutting the show, I made some changes, so I'll probably have to remove the names here because I know we want to automate some of these. But we created our Zoom ISO sources in here, and then in our layer stack, what we ended up with was creating these two picture windows, basically a one for the left, one for the right, and then we added this video switcher function. And I should probably bring up the web browser interface so you can see the buttons and what this actually does in terms of like cutting the show, because we wanted a way to create different layouts but have a real easy way to change who is actually visible in any given picture in picture. So that was kind of the goal with that. So I guess Oliver, like, how would you best describe this video switcher layer that we put in here? Is this kind of like effectively like a old school like ME style workflow?
It's basically taking, allowing you to take like up to 8 sources and yeah, just switch between them. So it's the classic video switcher thing. I think it will help at this point if you join the demo meeting. So you have actual content in the in the
Okay,
video,
let's do
so we can
that.
see
So
what's going on.
So this is also another cool thing that Boinx added in the recent update now. So if you go to join a Zoom meeting here, you'll see this new option now in 6.12 that says join demo meeting. So when you just click that, you don't have to enter any meeting ID or passcode or anything. It'll just automatically connect to the test meeting that has all the AI video sources in here. Now, what you will see is if we go to our Zoom sources here, you'll see this waiting recording permissions. You do have to click this box here, request recording permissions. It'll automatically assign it to you. And then you'll actually see here all of the people in that meeting there. So let's assign some of those sources here. And I'm just going to have to start this over again. So let's just grab this person. Let's grab Annika. So you'll start to see, like if you look in the video switcher source, that those should start popping up there. Let's grab Michelle. There's John, Sarah, and Susan. Okay, so we got a whole bunch in there. Now, Oliver, I know we wanted to talk about automating the names in lower thirds. Should I I had manually entered names for these sources. Should I get rid of these?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go into the source. We're just going to delete this name. Come on, delete. There we go.
Yeah, it did that already. So just
Oh,
once,
just
not
I
not, not
sorry. I
twice.
see what happened. Okay, so it
Yeah,
actually put it in and then
yeah.
now
Now
how
you
do I
have to
get that
just put
back?
in. I think you just have to. Achim, what's the problem here? Just put in another name.
Maybe I just
Yeah, renames.
reselect that source.
No, rename. Yeah, maybe. No, I think you have to rename the source. Yeah. Okay. Now.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay,
Just go switch to someone else and then back.
there it is.
Okay. Just yeah, in the Alex Lindsay one, you overwrote this, so you have to just remove the overwritten one once. That's okay. Yeah. Nope. Well, it's only there's like no, yeah, screen
Okay.
sharing. Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay,
Interesting
so we
that we
got a
don't get video from Jamal.
yeah, where's
Um,
Jamal actually?
I think he's not visible, so that's why the source is turned off.
Okay, got it.
So yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I can see Jamal in the meeting, but the source, why isn't he?
Yeah, because he is not on screen or in any of the switcher things, so he's not live, basically. If you
Okay.
if you turn on the multi-view column and pull everyone in, then you see that he becomes live. So
Just gonna update the video switcher here. Michelle.
this is now twice.
Alana, John, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I had screen sharing on 7. Do you want me to add all the should I add all the
I
people
mean,
in
we
for the
don't we
first?
don't have to, just so that we want to have some content,
Yeah,
right? So
got it.
we
Okay.
don't need all of them. And I think for the extra hours template later on, we need to figure out how many do we have to, how many
Right.
do we want.
Yeah.
And you already have one more than we thought because you have the screen sharing.
Got it.
So
Yeah. So you can see, and there's the pip window left and right in there with all the people. Now, what we did was these are layer variants, right?
yeah.
And do we need to explain, Oliver? Obviously, that we have some mimoLive users in here. Do we need to explain what a layer variant is?
I don't think we did that. I think we did that in the first
Okay.
first thing. So
Okay. And then
yeah.
we also have some. These are split screens as well. So this is another thing that we did for just various different layouts. You can see we got one with 6, one with 4, one with the host being larger in the frame, and then a box of 4. So we're just experimenting a little bit with different layouts here.
And then you were about to explain the remote control surface and how
The
this.
remote control interface. Yes. So let me go to. Can you see that? Can you see the Safari
Yeah,
browser there?
yeah.
Obviously, now I haven't spent a ton of time redesigning this, so normally you wouldn't have such tiny buttons. I haven't actually fixed this. I gotta fix some stuff with the layout here. But basically, let me see if I can move some of this down here. So these buttons should now. I'll probably have to go back to the video switcher here. Hold on a second. It's hard to get all of this on the screen so you can see here. But this should change what's going out to.
Yeah, you need to switch on the video switcher layer itself first.
Oh, it's off. Right. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's try that. So there we go. So now you can see those are the buttons that are basically soloing those people. This is actually, I think this is using the cut buttons in the actual video switcher, right, Oliver?
Yeah.
So this is just like basically cutting like a traditional switcher between, and you can see it's actually, if you look at the video switcher preview there, you can see it is showing you who I've got selected there. So that's what we're doing with that. And then of course, if we go to the picture in picture window here, oh no, let's go to that. So these buttons on the left, we're changing the picture, who was actually in the picture in picture as well. So this is for the left, and then we had one for the right as well. I've got to fix the size of these buttons, obviously. So that would change. Oh, and of course, I got to turn off that video switcher. There's a bunch of stuff. This is super rough, obviously, because we haven't. This would normally be. Now we're. What else would it? Let me just turn this off here. So you'd have the back. So we've got this background layer here. So this is what we want. We wanted the ability to just very quickly change who was actually visible in a 2-up like this. So we decided picture in picture is probably the simplest way to do that. And Oliver, feel free to jump in. Do you want to talk about this at all? What we were doing with this?
I mean, I don't know what you were doing. So yeah, it's good. It's good that you explain what you were doing. So what we were thinking about is if we switch to the host plus 4, how do we or the 4 the host plus 4 pip no no, pip the host plus 4 layout. If we switch to that, how can we, change who's in the other
Right.
four, spots? So we
Yeah,
have,
because this is one of the challenges that I have with
yeah,
my own show too. Is I had to build a lot of now. It's easier when you mostly have like the same type of when the panel is pretty static, it's much easier to manage. But on a show like Extra Hours, it's a lot more difficult because you don't know who's going to show up until like a few hours before the actual show. So, so I really have to think about how to best implement the different layouts and have some flexibility in being able to insert people in there. And also, we never really got to this last week is about putting in lower thirds as well. So I'd like to have lower thirds, and ideally, if there's a way to automate, like if I could have a lower third where I could put in a variable that would say automatically insert that person's Zoom name into the lower third, because otherwise I'm going to have to create these manually for every single person that joins the show, and I'd rather not have to do that.
Okay. Yeah, so let's tackle the first thing. So how do we create like submixes that we can use in the in the in the 4-up layout?
Right.
So scroll to the top, to the bottom of the layer stack. That's the first thing we'll do. And then we'll put in there, like we already have the background that covers everything that's below there. So at the end of the lower stack, you just put in 4 switcher layers. And I mean, maybe we can just duplicate the one that you already have so we don't have to make that again. And then move it to the bottom. Maybe not that one, the other one, the copy.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, there we go.
So that's bottom.
And then how
Okay.
many you want 4 of these?
Yeah, 4 of them. Yeah. So, and then I think it makes sense to rename them and to call the top one, call spot 1, and the other one call spot 2, and then spot 3 and spot 4. So now we have basically 4 mixers that are 4 switchers that we can pick. Basically, whoever wants to be, or should be in one of the 4 spots, right? So how do we get them into the spots? And the trick here is to use something called Siphon. And we have a source, a Siphon source, and we have something called a Siphon sender layer. And the Siphon sender layer, if you add that to the layer stack at the bottom, you have to go to the bottom, at the Siphon, SYPH video sender, just put that on top of spot 4. Yeah. And then put one on top of spot 3 and put one on top of spot 2. And yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. And now we rename those also spot 1 to spot 4. So yeah. Achim, do we have to rename the mimoLive output? I think we do, right?
Yeah, that's very important to rename the server name in each of those Siphon sender layers so that the receiver can distinguish between those.
Okay. So you click on the on spot 1, for example, and then you see the server name, and you rename that into spot 1. And then click on the spot 2 and rename that to spot 2. And then rename that to spot 3. Yes.
And Oliver's Siphon, is
So,
this kind of work like Loopback where you can route
yes,
between applications video from one place to
exactly.
another?
It works exactly like that for video. So what we can do now is we now have to turn all of that on, of course. And also the switchers.
So the one thing we noticed was that Siphon doesn't really take up much in the way of resources, right?
No, yeah, it does not. So now to get them to be able to use those, we need to set up the sources for them. So we need to set up 4 Siphon sources in the sources menu.
Okay.
I think you might want to make a new folder called Siphon or whatever, or
I was gonna say,
spots.
what happened to where did our siphon sources go? Because I don't see any siphon sources from
Yeah, you
last week.
didn't add any yet, so
Oh, okay.
you have to add them. So you add a Siphon source. Yeah, call that spots or whatever. Yeah, and then add a Siphon video receiver, and then we need 4 of those. And then you click into the gray area there, and then you select spot 1. You can select spot 1 by just clicking on this. Yeah, spot 1, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then click on spot 2, click on spot 3, and on spot 4. So probably
Probably
rename.
give these
Yeah.
proper name.
Well, they actually automatically
Oh,
renamed,
they
but
did.
yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah. So now we have those. We don't have to do anything else with them. We can now select them in the 4-up or in the 5. What was the 5-up?
You're talking about the split
They
screen?
split screen. Yeah, go to the host +4, and now where you select the sources B, C. B, C, and D and E. Now this stays the host, right? So yeah, that's the host. So just the other spot 1 through 4. And you don't see any video yet, and I suspect this is because all the switcher are set to layers below. So click on the spot 1 switcher. No, the switcher, yeah. And then just select Jamal, for example. In the preview, just click on Jamal. Yeah. So now we have Jamal there. Go to spot 2. Click on Elena. Yeah. So now we have a
Oh,
way
we got
to select
her
whoever
twice.
should be.
We have a duplicate
Yeah,
though. We got Elena
yeah,
twice.
yeah.
Elena is the host, so
Click on Annika. Yeah.
there we go. Okay.
All right. So now we have these submixes basically that we can use to select the 4 spots for. And the way to put them into a remote control, I would just show that just create a new one for now, because I think the taking in here is gonna be, just make a new one, and because the way you deal with just go to control surfaces on the left side. It's like, no, yeah. Yeah, just create new, yeah, create new, and then give that like a submix, call it submix. And now we can just go and add buttons, and we can just add the spot 1. Oops, which is oh yeah, that's a good point. So the lower
I think
one,
we
the
have to
other
come up
one.
with a better
No,
naming scheme.
yeah. But it's always the second one. So because the order is like the order is yeah. So now go and get the 8th source, the Achim, there's the variant with 8 sources. Is that only one button? No, that we don't need that.
This is just to switch on and off the
Yeah,
layer
yeah,
switcher.
which we don't want to do. So we want to go and select the compact cuts and then move the buttons into like one row, maybe. Just but what I would do now is I would make 4 rows of 8 buttons so that you have you have a matrix, right? Like to put all the buttons in
Yeah,
one
but how
row,
how am I gonna tell which one at a glance? 'Cause they're all gonna have the same names. I don't know which one is for spot one, two,
which
three,
is
four.
it's absolutely correct because that's like the row says spot one is row one, spot two is row two is spot two, three is spot three, and row four is spot four. And you have all the names of all of them in the same at the same space. So that's how you tell where which one is. Yeah. So it's now make no. Yeah. Now this doesn't work because you don't know which one is in. So the idea is that you can tap on one in each row, but you can remember which one you selected because it's not in the same column. You know what I'm saying?
No, sorry, you lost me.
Okay, so if you move Jamal from the first, make them all in one row, then you will
Oh,
see what's happening.
you're talking vertically.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
or horizontally, so that it looks like a bus, like a bus
Yeah.
of buttons
Looks like
across
exactly like you have on your old
ATEM.
switcher. It's like
Yeah.
one row each for each
Oh, I see what you're saying with the
class.
same. Okay, I think I see what you're saying there. Hold on.
So
Right. And then they're
so
just
then you can
stacked. So the
go,
top one is 1, second one is
yeah,
2, third one is 3, fourth one is 4.
Got it.
yeah.
Right.
Thanks,
So
David.
so you put them like that kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Um.
Anika, I would
Yeah.
keep the order so the same. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
Anika, Lewis. I think that one came from the lower.
Can you explain what layers below means again? Because I've already forgotten.
You do what you're doing now is not no. Move the G out of the way to the entire to the right.
Okay.
So
Alex,
Right.
makes a horizontal line with all the 8 buttons from left to right, and this 4 times.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm
So to
just.
go Jamal,
Yeah.
Anika, Lewis, Elena, John, G,
yeah.
layers below. That's bus 1 for
Eh,
position 1. And then the same thing for position 2 on bus 2, Jamal, Anika, Lewis, whatever the order is, however you have them mapped, if that makes sense. So pull
I'm
Michelle and
sorry.
put her next to Louis. Put her next to
Uh,
Lewis.
okay.
And then put Elena next to Michelle and John next to Elena. And then G and layers below all the way to the right. On the same bus, though, on that same layer stack.
on the same row.
Same
Oh,
row.
okay.
So
Okay.
move layers below and G up to that first row.
You can
And that's
actually delete layers below because that's not going to help in this case. Layers below is sort of a in the layer stack. It's sort of transparent. So if you have the switcher layer turned on, selecting Jamal blocks out everything that is below the layer, below the switcher layer in the lower third, right? In the layer stack. And yeah, yep. I think you're getting the hang of this. Now John goes into, yeah, that's bot.
Is there a button you could have as a label to the left of each row there?
Yeah. But I would do something even more. I would put the I would put let's show that in a minute when Alex is finished setting up this switcher thing, because now we don't see what is selected, right? And to see what is selected, we can make a custom button. Alex, make a custom button. Drag it to the, yeah. And then we select here, we select the video preview. We can actually select spot 1. So we can, if you go down there and choose video preview, you can go down and select the sources. No, in the sources. Go down and source, go down. There's spot 1. And now we see what's selected in that column. So if you turn it live and you switch to Rodriguez, you see that it's going to be Rodriguez. So you see which one of these 8 people is in spot 1.
That's pretty cool.
Makes sense?
I don't mind having the preview on the buttons, but like this is just to conserve CPU resources, I'm going to turn off that video preview. I don't really need it. I just need to see names. It's just too much video. It's too distracting.
Yeah.
Can you multi-select the buttons and turn them off in one fell swoop, or do you have to go?
Well, you can make a button that turns off.
For what Alex is doing now, could you shift?
Oh,
click?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
We are currently reworking the remote control surface thing, so we're gonna be able to do multi-select things and stuff like that.
Okay. Off.
Not sure why the names disappeared there.
Yeah, I've had that happen with me with the interface, and I can't.
I think you, yeah, maybe one click too much. Maybe you clicked into the text up there, and then it gets overridden by
how do I
empty
get
string.
that back? Is there any way to repopulate that without manually typing it in?
I don't know, Achim, is there? I don't think so.
I have to delete the button and re-add it?
Unfortunately, I guess you are right. The dynamic naming of the button is provided by the layer itself, and currently not possible to enter such a tag in the remote control user interface.
Yeah.
Oh, now see what you did is you clicked into the if you click into the title now, then it will remove
it will remove the automatic tag, and you can't enter it here.
Well, file that under RFI. Okay, so now can I just delete this one button and re-add this to dynamic? Because I want the dynamic, like the name.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's like, let's try it. Let's see if we can get.
I don't even that was. So that was
again. Unfortunately, you need to add the complete 9x9 grid and remove all the other 8 buttons.
All right. Well,
again.
I'll do that later. I don't want to waste time on that. But anyway, so that's working now. So
if you click on,
I have to add the custom buttons.
Yeah, you click on what custom buttons? Oh yeah.
Can I duplicate a button in the interface or no?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
You don't have to type that in because it shows up as soon as you select spot two.
Got it.
But you can use, but now you have to type it in because you changed it once. So
Well, if I delete it and then select it, let me see if it re-adds it. What happened to
spot
the
two.
order? What happened to the order here? How come spot one is going spot one, spot four, spot three, spot two?
I think that's the order that you put that in the Siphon source
Okay.
thing. But now
This
you
is
should
not
be
gonna work.
you should.
Oops, sorry. Okay.
So did you, if you try to see if you selected the correct one by switching this live and clicking on someone else there, just to be, yeah, okay.
Okay, add button. Another custom button. Oops. Go to my source and select spot three. Exit out of that, and the title's gone. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Oh, this spot one. Oh, Achim, why is it not doing the automatic
Actually,
touching?
I'm not sure if you add the
That's
custom
okay.
button that we
I'll
have
just type.
already.
We'll just type it in for now. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's just make sure this is working properly. Okay. Okay.
And
All right.
one way question: what does the red bar underneath the buttons show? Is it like a tally?
Yes, that's the tally. Unfortunately, in this context, the tally of a source is always on when the source is visible somewhere on the program. So that's why they are all active. Basically, it's because they are visible anywhere, somewhere.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, and you can turn that off. You can deselect that if it's too annoying. Then you can. Okay, so that's, I think, how we make submixes. Any questions for that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just one curious. I mean, aside from just human error, but if you have that host in the large, that 5-up, where you have the host on the left and the 4 on the right, there's no way to prevent the host from going into any of the other holes, is there? So you couldn't use you couldn't use voice switching to have those 4 auto-populate as people are speaking. Okay.
Well, so actually,
just something to think about.
If you use an auto video switcher instead of, but then no, it won't be. It can't exclude someone that's already there. So.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. I didn't see Ronnie's hand. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so while Alexander is doing this stuff, I have one question related to the Siphon sender, and there is a function in the switcher which says, let me see, it says transmit preview on the Siphon section, kind of near the bottom of the panel. I experimented a little bit with that, and it seems that I don't need to have the sender. It still populates the list, but the names will be the same for all. And my question is, in what are there added latency by using the transmit preview compared to using the Siphon sender?
The Siphon sender that's built into the switcher is, Achim, is that's not sending any video out, right? It's sending just the
It is.
So I can't quite remember if we added the option to send out the actual
it's
render,
Achim,
but it was meant to send out the grid of all the videos
the
that are
multi-view.
in the multi-view
Yeah.
that are that the
Did
video
we
switcher
actually?
represents.
That'd be nice. That would be awesome if we added like. Did we add
Maybe we have this option. I don't know. Ronnie, do you
Then
know?
we don't need the senders. Yeah.
All right, you can check. Should I check?
Let me see.
Yeah, but
Just,
I
It
guess in
probably-
the end it won't change much about the delay, or we will get 1 frame delay anyways.
Yeah.
And actually, maybe it's
So the transmit
don't
preview
have a
will transmit
delay,
the kind of multi-view view of that. It doesn't send the selected source.
yeah, I think it only sends the I think it only sends like the.
Yeah, it's two
So-
it's two different types of sending. But my question was not exactly that. It was related to the latency. If there is a different
Okay.
latency.
No.
no. What's actually that was I wanted to talk about what's now in the layer stack actually. So how that works is the video switcher layer at the bottom will draw the selected source full screen. Then the next layer, the Siphon sender, will grab the full screen and send it out to anyone who is listening. And then the second video switcher, Spot 5, will cover the previous drawn image again completely. And the Siphon sender, Spot 5, will grab this image now and send it out. And in the end, if the video switcher is also sending out the preview, then it also grabs the complete screen. So I think performance-wise, it's not a big difference, and there is also no delay because all the layers are rendered in one cycle, in one frame cycle, and then it doesn't make any difference, I guess.
So, Alex, are you making more spots?
Yeah, I need to because I've got a 6 up here that wasn't going
okay.
to work unless I need it. Total CPU usage right now, by the way, on this M4 baseline Mac Mini is at 67% right now and 54% memory usage.
And can you give me a favor? And in the HUD display, there are the render dots on the right. Can you click on them to reveal the render performance monitor or just the render frame?
This is what you want to see?
Yeah. So you can see that actual render time is close to the 3 milliseconds available. So if we come over the 33 millisecond, then we will start dropping frames. And certainly the video switches.
Achim, can you
usually
repeat the amount of milliseconds? How many milliseconds? 1, 3?
33.
Gotcha.
33. So it's the available time, the last row of the 4 at the top. Available time is 33 milliseconds. Comes from the frame rate this document is set on. And I guess it's set to 30 frames per second. And so we have the 3 milliseconds for each frame to render. Currently,
So
we
we're
are
pretty
running
much-
at 20, 27, 28.
We're pushing the resources pretty hard right now doing this.
Correct.
Alex, can you check if you set the document back to 1080p already?
I already did that, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I haven't,
Yeah.
we're not even live streaming yet, but yeah.
I do not see those numbers. I have a MacBook for Pro.
Yeah, so the screen sharing actually takes like
Yeah, I forgot about that. So I
10%
am
or
running,
something.
normally I wouldn't be running a Zoom client and screen sharing. That takes about 10% CPU right there alone. So if I killed this, I'll have to, I'll post back in, after we're done this session, I'll post back what happens to the CPU system resources once I kill the whole Zoom client.
I have a much more featured document sitting on my M4 Pro, and that is taxing around 17% just for mimoLive. 17.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cool.
Oliver, I still have a bit of time here. Do we want to quickly, could we cover lower thirds and automating names?
Sure. I think I'm in let me switch back here. All right.
By the way, are we
So
still going to need these pip windows? Are we going to utilize this at all? Or are we just going to use
you could go and have only one pip left and one pip right, or you can do like a two up using the split screen.
right?
Okay.
I'll have to think about that. And this video, this is the first, this is the original video switcher layer that we created. We probably don't need this now, right? Now that I have all these.
Well,
screens.
you need that if you want to switch full screen over the split screen things, but you could also do that in a different way, right?
Okay.
So there's like one option would be to use the solo buttons in the pip in the split screen layouts, and have a two up split screen, and then use the solo A button to
Okay.
put
All right.
whoever wants to be on full screen. So
Okay, so for
now
lower
lower
thirds,
thirds.
do you want me to just use the basic one here?
Yeah, let's do that for now. Uh,
And we're gonna
yeah,
need layer.
you can tweak the layout or whatever first later. Achim, can
Yeah,
you
for sure.
take over and guide Alex through the creation of an automation layer that populates a lower third from a Zoom source?
I can try. Hopefully you can remember how to pull that off. So yeah, first of all, we need an automation layer, of course. And currently it's by default, it's just running once. We can switch it to run it endless. However, first of all, let's see if we can get the connection, and then see how we can
Right.
run it all the time, because it's
Okay.
yeah, for debugging it's easier. So the first command you already see there is the get object ID by name. So we added that to fetch ID numbers.
Hold on one second. Let me
Sure.
just to make this easier, instead of making the edits here, because the font is really tiny, I'm gonna open up text edit, and we'll do it inside of text edit, and we'll make it
copy and paste it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy paste so everyone can see, and we'll make it really big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you click on those three lines next to the, you should be able to get the editor popping up.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have, yeah, but this only opens a text editor window. But I guess this the text size can't change.
Well, let's just do it in text edit for now, and then we
Sure.
can. Is that very clear for everyone? You can see that?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So the first thing I want to show is how easy it is to actually set the name of the lower third by a single command. And for this, I would ask you, Alex, to switch to the lower third in mimoLive and right-click on the title John Doe. Then you will get a context menu, and then you can select copy URL to change title at the bottom of that.
I'm right-clicking where?
Title.
That's
Just
correct.
right-clicking the title, you're absolutely on the right path. So
Yeah.
right-click here, you get this pop-up menu and click the last one, copy URL to change title. So this
Got it.
will copy a URL into the clipboard where you can use to change the title to John Doe. So this is just set up. And to test this, I would say that you put in a command that's called HTTP request.
And where is that going to go?
Yeah, just where the cursor that's just fine.
HTTP request, all one word.
Correct. Then brackets
Okay.
and brackets open, quotation marks, quotations, then paste the URL, and then quotations again in closing brackets. So this command would just set John Doe, and in
Make
that
some
URL,
space before. Make some space before that so we can actually see you and
Yeah,
after, and remove the blink
that's one line.
stuff.
That's important. That's
Yeah.
one line. Can't do breaks in
What
there.
are we?
And you
What am I removing?
That's just fine as it is.
Okay.
So at the end of that command, you see John Doe baked into the URL, and you can change it to something else. However, you see that you need to encode spaces with
Right.
%20.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
just to test if this actually works, I would recommend or suggest that you change John Doe to something else and just run the automation layer to see if that actually does something.
Okay, so
And
just
then
copy.
remove the no.
You
Remove the
can get rid of the last commands of the rest of the script because we don't need that anyway. So
this
the
part here.
command, yeah, right,
yeah.
and everything below.
Do I and okay, get rid of that.
Yeah, here we
Okay.
go. So now copy that to the automation layer and give it a run by switching it live. So now it doesn't work because we can see that the output, the request had been set, but there's no answer from it. And I'm not quite sure why this happened. Should be okay. Interesting.
You can
Semicolon, maybe?
No, it's
No.
not required because the output already showed me that the HTTP request command was actually recognized, and it sent the URL and then waited 10 seconds to a response, and there was no response.
Is any of this case sensitive at all? Like,
I know what the problem is. The problem is that actually we don't need to have the percentage encoding there. So that's kind of a problem. We need to get rid of the percentage encoding. Because the percentage encoding actually you need for browsers, and the copy URL command put them in. But in this case, we need to translate them back.
So we need to get rid of them altogether.
We need to replace them by the actual representative, which is 22 will be the quotation marks. So you need to replace all percentage 22 with quotation marks.
But this is not going to work, Achim, because they are already quotation marks. So do you have to do single quotes around this?
They need to be escaped.
It should be.
With a backslash.
Okay. Backslash quotation mark. Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit difficult right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Sorry, I need to test this right quick on my end. But I guess I recently stumbled across this, and maybe we need to fix this in
all right, let's give him a minute to test that on his own machine.
I'm trying here. Automation. I'm currently on my own machine. And remember that I actually gave the URL to ChatGPT and asked it to replace all the percentages and encoded it again. Much easier to do so. Let me see. This worked.
I should have taken the time to find the one where we already did that. Which was
if you get it working, just paste that code in the chat in Zoom and I'll copy paste it.
Sure. Copy. We try it again. And I need to escape them again. Oh, come on. Coding. Okay.
There's nothing like making coding changes live.
Yeah. In the early days of mimoLive, we had a guy working for us who was fearless, and he's like,
oh yeah,
back then, 5 minutes to the show, and we were switching out graphics cards on the machine.
Oh my god, that's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, back then you still had graphics cards in your Mac, so it was like,
while we're waiting, does anybody have any questions about this, like what we're doing inside of Mimo for the template? Everything makes sense to everybody?
So maybe we should tell people what the plan is. So the plan is going to be to use the scripts to get the name from the Zoom source and then put it automatically into the lower third layer, so that you don't have to set up the names manually. They will automatically be populated. Right. So maybe we don't have to run the script in a loop, because that's something you would do once and then populate like a set of lower thirds and like 8 lower thirds.
Right, that makes sense.
8 lower third variants, and then just you have 1 lower third for every one that's on the Zoom meeting.
Right.
And then use that. And since the names, if you update that, also update on the buttons, you will have buttons on your remote control that say, this is the lower third for Alex, this is the lower third for Guy, this is the lower third for
I might as well,
Ronnie.
while we're I might as well, since we're waiting, just create. So if we typically have, like, let's say maximum 6 people, I'll just create 6 variants of this lower third, right?
Yes. Or maybe, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but before we added this copy everything to every layer variant, I would have said, just make sure you get the lower third look exactly what you want. But now that you can
Right.
make changes and
Yep.
apply them to all layer sets, that's
true.
much easier. And so you can,
And this is what you're talking about, right? Copy layer attributes right here.
yes, exactly. Yeah. But
And then you
if
would
you do
go
that, it would also copy all the names over, which in
Yeah.
this case wouldn't be a big problem because we use the script to populate the names anyway afterwards. But if you don't want to do that, you can go to any of the sections in the settings, like the animation section. What are you doing?
I'm just going to start over. I'm just changing my naming scheme here.
Okay.
I'm going to say guest.
And Alex, by the way, Achim posted the text.
Okay, let me take a look here.
Is
So
that, Achim,
what
is
you-
that the correct numbers? No, that's the wrong
No,
numbers, right?
that's for my document, of course. We need to adapt this to Alex once. Oh, you removed everything. That's not good.
Whoops. Let me go back. Let me go back.
Yeah, just add my comment at the back. So, I guess the thing is you can grab from the 4th line at the end where it states fields bracket input minus.
Well, you could fetch everything from the question mark at the end of the variance ID, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, yeah,
Include
yeah,
and grab this everything and put it here. Perfect.
and then delete the other one. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let me just delete this. We'll put the new script. Now, how do I get this to not run on loop?
It's
Oliver?
automatically not running on loop.
Okay.
So it's just running once when you turn it
Okay.
on. So
Okay.
it should now, but did you remove the first? Yeah, it could be that you now have the layer variant has a different ID maybe, but we don't know. Just try it. Let's see.
Okay. So make both the lower third and the script live.
Well, we don't have to make the lower third live because you see it in the preview as well.
Okay.
So just click on the lower third and then just take the automation live. Yeah. See, that switched to Alexander Knight.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now,
And don't forget to save.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
point. Good point. Good point.
So if, for instance, you had different variations of the lower third, you would have to create different automations for each variation of the lower third. Like if I had a different style lower third for company 1, company 2, company 3, you would have to have those automations specifically referencing each of those lower third styles. Yeah.
Yes.
Because those are all unique.
Yes. But you could
Sort of.
well, you can
Sort
have
of.
you can have global variables, and you could do something where you have one automation that sets which ID you want to use, and then use that in the script. But right now, I think the most practical way to do this would have to be like make 8 variations of that layer, and then just have 8 times set, as
Oliver.
Yeah, you can. Alex.
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly, because we have 6 Zoom sources in here. So now that we have verified the script is working, how do we get, just so people can see it here, from the actual 6 Zoom sources, how do I specify which one to pull from.
Yeah, so how that works is in the automation, currently we have hard-coded the name, and we want to be Alexander Knight to be a variable. And we need to read from the source name, the actual source name,
Right.
and put that into a variable and propagate it onto the lower third. So you can also here copy sources endpoint to clipboard. That copies just the endpoint. It's not doing much other than providing the ID. However, we could, and then we can use a HTTP request JSON command to fetch the complete source
let me get
information.
That's good.
So-
That's good to know. I'm gonna grab, since Elena is the host, let me actually just do this with Elena so we can get that working right away. So if I copy that,
Yeah.
and this string here, this is the actual unique ID for that source. Is that correct?
That's correct. So the UL scheme is from the start, documents, then the document ID, then what you want to see, sources, layers, output destinations, followed by the ID of that object. And
Okay.
in case of layers, you can go deeper to variants as well, as you can see above. So I would suggest that you copy the HTTP part from the top until API. So we have all that, and put it at the front just to API, and put that in front of the next URL.
Oh,
So now you
okay,
copy document as well. No, you don't. Okay, here we go. Right. So I would suggest that you copy just the URL right now and open a browser and see what's going on here without the HTTP request, just the URL. Yeah. And see what's happening if you put this in Safari or so. So what you see is the answer of the mimoLive web server, and it answers in JSON. That's why we want to actually fetch JSON from that and get the response in JSON format. So mimoLive, the automation knows that the response will be JSON, and it can then pass that very easy. And you already
can even
spotted
see
it.
It shows there. It shows Elena in there.
Correct.
In the response.
Well,
So-
and it shows like there's a name, and then there's what's the double point double thing, and then name, and then there's this two. What's the name for that? With the two dots.
Two dots.
Colon.
Two dots.
Colon.
Colon. Colon. So, thank you. Name
Not
colon
to be confused
Elena
with Kern.
Kovac. Okay.
Don't confuse
Not
colon with Kern.
With cologne.
Cologne.
Yeah. Köln. Kölsch. Beer. So that's easy to get to beer in German. So yeah, so you see that there's a pair of, there's a key that's called a key and a value. So the key is name and the value is Elena Kovac. So we need to find that in mimoLive. Achim, can you go on?
Sure. However, it's not as easy as just the key, but there's a path to that value. We need to check out the path. So next step would be to change the command. The second command you started with HTTP request. I would suggest
Just
you
move that
change
to
it.
I move that to the top. So that's what that.
Ollie,
yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Okay, so
So
what are we doing now?
the second command is not finished yet.
Okay.
So you need to replace or extend the HTTP request by JSON at the end. That's spelled JSON. So it reads HTTP request JSON.
Oh, I see. So we're adding JSON, like, oh, sorry, it's JSON, JSON, right?
SON, correct. And then after the bracket, you fill in a variable because we want to get the data of that fetch into a variable so we can work with the result. You
Right.
probably just put in dollar or source JSON. And then you put a comma. And we need, at the end, we need the quotation marks and the closing bracket again. After the URL. Okay, so this command will fetch the data we already saw in the browser into JSON, source JSON variable. And as my brother already mentioned, we need to put this, of course, at the top of the command stack because we want to work with the JSON source JSON variable before we push the name to the lower third. So please move the HTTP request JSON command to the top. And the get object ID by name we don't need right now because we don't work with the ID.
Okay, so
get rid of the first line.
Am I replacing this entire string now?
We keep that because we want to use this, but we put it on top of those of that command. Right. So you can get rid of the bottom, and you can get rid of the first line, the get object ID by name command. You don't need that either. Here we go. So the interesting part is now all the data we fetched is in the variable source JSON, and we want to read out the name of the source. And for this, we need to know the path in the JSON data. The JSON data is organized by key values, but they are also nested key value pairs. And so we need to have a path to the name. So the name is not a root object. It's some values down the line. So I usually use a website to make the JSON in a nice format so I can actually read it. Maybe we want to do that so we learn it. If you go back to the Safari browser with the result of our JSON here, so you can please copy all the JSON data, and then open up a web page called jasonlint.com, or is it jasonlint.org? I'm not sure. JSONlint. Just
.com, is that the right one?
Yeah, try it, please. You see. Yeah, here we go. So you paste in the JSON and click on validate JSON, the green button at the bottom, and it will format it, give us a nice format. So now we can actually see the structure of the JSON, and we need to follow the path. So the path is data, that's the data object, and in the data object below there will be, let's scroll down, there will be an attributes, and there's name. So we need path would be data.attributes.name. That's a path to our data we want to fetch. And so we just need to remember that path.
Can you please explain where you found this path?
Okay, so you see in line. So I need to see the line. Sorry, line line 5, there is a root object called data, right? And within that object, there are sub-objects scrolling down to line about 30, I don't know.
28.
28, right? In line 28, there is the sub-object or sub-key value pair attributes. So the path is data.attributes dot, and within the attributes, there is a name key value in line 40. So the complete path to that name, Elena, is data.attributes.name.
Copy that. Thank you.
Okay. And yeah, we just need to remember that for the next step. So please head over to the text editor again. We can add the next commands. The next command would be this insert after the HTTP request JSON. Put in. Let me
This
just
is a new
see.
line.
A new line. Get JSON data. I need to see what you're doing. I have too many windows, you mean. Get JSON data, bracket. Then we want to see, we want to receive or get the information of the name. So you can write a new variable called $name, comma. Then we need to put in the JSON data where we want to fetch the data from. So this would be $source JSON, the same variable name from above, and then comma again. And now we need to want to have the path to that data, and we start with a quotation mark, and you can write in data.attributes.name. Quotation marks and closing brackets. So hopefully this will fetch the name of that source and put it in the name variable. Now that we have the name variable, we can modify the HTTP request and put in the name, a variable instead of Alexander Knight. Unfortunately, I need to. Oh, we need to concat the string expression should work. Huh.
So this original thing that we started with, this is going to stay here in the script?
Yeah, we want to modify it right now. So you can replace Alexander Knight and write in there. So that's here it gets a little bit tricky, even more tricky.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start with quotation marks, then plus $name plus quotation mark.
Wait, is there more than one set of quotations that I need to add?
Yeah, correct.
So there's quotation inside a quotation?
Yeah.
Like that?
And after the plus, you need also a quotation.
This is the second plus, then need to be a second quotation. Yeah, that's correct. Right there. This is where
syntax, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And cross the fingers, hope to die that this still works.
So now copy that to
the. Yeah, exactly. We need to copy that to the automation layer and see if that runs. If it not runs, we need to start to debug it, I guess.
By the way, could you extend this JSON window to see the whole text? Like if you were editing where the on live is, where Alex pasted the text, can you get this larger that you
Private.
see all the
Yes, by
text in once?
pressing on the
Yeah. The button on the left
Ah,
will give you a new
okay.
window, and you
Great.
can enter
Thank you.
and work on that.
Oh, always
so
learning
now
something.
select the lower third so we can see if it changes and run the automation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
first
did.
try.
Very cool.
Nice work.
Yay.
So now, whenever you change the the participant in the source, you can just try it and change Elena to someone else, and then
And the source.
rerun the automation. Yeah, you need to change it in the source in mimoLive directly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Change the Elena source in Zoom just to see if
Yeah,
it.
correct. So now hit the automation again, and it should update the name.
Oh, look at
Here we
that.
go. So now, currently the automation is just run once, and so you need to press the button again to actually update the lower third. But we can put it in a loop, and then it will always fetch and push the data.
Okay, it's not. Hold on a second. It's not. I've switched the source back to Elena, and now it's not updating.
Yeah, you need to run the automation again.
Oh, I see. Hold on a second. I thought I did, but no, it's not doing it.
Because I guess you switched back the wrong one. Did we use the below? Actually you select Elena, but try the source just below that. Here we go, and change this one. I guess this is the one we actually changed. Put this to something else, to Elena or John. Run the automation again. Here we go. So you need to keep an eye on which source is which. Yeah.
So we would have to make 8 variants of this, right? Or can we use the one variant and run it whenever a panelist changes in the program? And
well, you could do that, but it's like then you don't have the option to switch. I mean, to select what lower third you want to use, because you have to do in the source. You have to use the source, to select whoever should be there. You can't use the switchers, and that's not what you want, basically, I think.
Okay, so let me ask this one really. So he did this change on the one source of Elena Kovac. Do you only have to do this with one of the sources, or do you have to do this with all of the sources?
You have 8 variations of the lower third, and you have 8 sources. So you have to take for each source, you have to move one over to the variation. So you have basically one lower third for each participant.
So what
Right,
I
so,
would suggest is that in the automation, if you check the code again from the automation, then maybe it more clear. Now we have 3 commands. We read the source and a specific source, fetch the name from that source and push it to a specific lower third. So those are 3 steps. And you need to repeat those 3 steps for each combination of source and lower third. You want to copy from a specific source to a specific lower third. And you can, of course, you can put all those into one automation and run it in one single shot.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. So I don't need different automation layers. I can just put it all inside one?
Sure. Yeah. Keep in mind that the automation is running only one command per frame. So it won't change all the lower thirds in one frame, but it will also, of course, wait for the response of the web server. And so if you have multiple, like say 6 of the lower thirds, it certainly will take half a second at least to update all the lower thirds because of the timing. in the background. But of course, you can
That
put all the commands in one automation. Just hold on a second.
and that's only the automation is only run once.
Correct.
Okay. One other question, because I noticed we didn't map that second line in the lower third. If it were mapped to company, or I forget what the value is, but it's probably company or title. If some people might have that title, some people might not. What is the behavior if it doesn't find the value, but it's expecting some, like if a variable is there and the value isn't?
The variable is empty.
Correct. So currently
it won't
yeah.
Output anything then.
Yes. It would in the subtitle would be just as empty. However, currently we are actually fetching the name of the source, and there is no company name or any job description or something in the source. So the source doesn't know about something like that currently.
Oh, right. I see the value there as subtitle. So okay.
But yeah. But you could, Alex, can you go back to the Safari where you fetch this? So there's a Zoom username, and I assume that if the Zoom does the Zoom ecosystem support that you also have a subtitle, a title? Achim, do you know if we fetch that?
I don't think so.
Not that I know of. Currently,
It's tied. That's tied to your user profile name, and there's only one line item for that. There's no way of.
Can I just add something? It's not a question. It's more like a fact. What I see here on the name field, so in the name attribute in the JSON, that is the same as the title of the source. So I didn't erase it first. I left it to be the default, which is Zoom meeting. And the name attribute is the same as the title of the source. And the Zoom -username is the actual Zoom name.
Okay, so maybe we want to use the Zoom name, use Zoom username instead of the name. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So in the path, in the JSON path, we need to change data.attributes.name. We need to change to data.attributes.zoom -username.
But now, to that point, Ronnie, what happens if, for instance, participant joins with a name that isn't really theirs or needs to be renamed? Then which will it take? Is it the hard-coded name, or is that name the Mimo name? You know what I mean? Because we'll get talent sometimes that come in with a generic account and we rename them on the fly. Which name is it going to pick up on?
I think that the Zoom username that's shown there is the screen name of the user in Zoom. So if you rename their if you rename them, so if I go and rename David Brady to something else, it will take that something else that you renamed it to.
Okay, cool.
Because we don't get the user the account name anyway. You know, we only get the screen name. So yeah.
Oh, and one last question before this is over. Alex, can you like scrub any particular data from here and share out a template of this document for others to play with?
I don't see why not. We can just put it up on Dropbox or something for
just get rid of any particular branding or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I can just save this as a template file.
That'd be great.
There's only one thing I need to remove, but other than that, you guys can mess around with it. There's nothing sensitive.
Alex, don't save it as a template. Save it as a document. Make a copy and remove whatever you need to remove.
Yeah, Yeah, the Mukana and assets, stuff like that. If I don't know how sensitive the community is to that stuff.
Yeah, I can.
And Alex, what you wanted to change is the second command. The end is data.attributes.zoom minus username.
Minus
All right.
username.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the line 30 of the Safari thing.
And should we try and run this again?
Always.
Yeah, please.
Why not?
Code we change, always test.
Yeah, I think the Zoom source is still John Ginsborough. So, yeah.
So the idea is to
minus.
rename the source, actually, to rename the source rather than changing the participant. So we can make sure that we get the Zoom name rather than the source name.
Okay, so if you were to rename like Jamal Carter on the sources list, the topmost thing where it says, well, not Jamal because his camera's not on, but if we rename Anika Patel, the hard-coded name, and no, the thing, or any one of them, if you take, but rename them at the top layer, top level.
I got 2 duplicate Zoom sources here that I gotta fix. Jamal, Annika, Luis.
I got 2 Johns.
Luis, Michelle, Elena, John.
Now you have
Sarah. What? Did I mess that up? Jamal, Carter, Annika, Luis, Elena, Michelle. Oh, wait a minute.
you have 2 Elenas now.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. Jamal. I'm trying to put them in the order that they show up. Luis, Michelle, Elena.
While Alexander does that, I think a suggestion would be to also have the document and the API URL as a variable so that we can just use that variable in all, and that makes it easier to share the document.
There's no.
If you share the document, it retains its ID, I think, Achim, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
So that should not be a problem. The problem is if you make when does it change the ID? To save as?
You use save as, I guess we create a new document ID.
But it's generally a good idea, Ronnie, and thanks for the suggestion to have sort of like built-in variables or what's that, constant names that refer to the
actually, if you Alexander, also you're working on it. If you click on the automation layer, there's in the preview there is a list of the commands, and at the very bottom of the command list there is a name. There is actually the document ID as a variable always ready for you. So you can replace the document ID at least with the same plus left and right, and replace it in your URL, so that if the document ID ever changes, then you're good to go.
But that's only the number, right? So you have to do still have to do HTTP.
Absolutely.
And just the API, just the documents thing. You could the 175768 you could replace with the
with the document ID. Yeah.
$document ID. Okay.
Okay. I think we made really good progress today. I do have to actually head out, Oliver. So I'd love to spend more time on this, though. We're going to need, I mean, the last bit of work we're going to I might need your help with is just to make sure that we have, I guess the script, I've got to update the script so that it can pull in, say, if we're going to work with 6 sources, have those set up so that it pulls in all 6 Zoom sources in the script.
I wonder if we can make an automation, Achim, where we can pull the name from the selection in the switcher. So that
That would be interesting.
well, if you use the switcher to do full screen, you can just hit, and then it will just use the name of whoever is selected in the switcher source.
Right. I'm not quite sure if this is possible.
Yeah, we can. That's the homework, and we'll update everyone in the mimoLive experts Discord on how to do that, or we'll add it in the next workshop. And Alex, when do we want to continue to work on this? And do we want to do it in public, or do you?
Yeah, we should do this stuff in public. I think this is good for me. It's good for everyone should see this. So why don't we do another one next week? Let's just keep it going.
Next week, let me see.
Or
that is
whenever
July
you can,
17th. Is that?
With Thursday, that work?
Thursday, July 17th, would work for me, I think. Same time, same place.
Same Zoom link?
No, not the same Zoom link.
Okay.
I don't know if I can we do the same Zoom link?
Right.
We should be able to do that, right? Okay.
All
right.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll watch for the announcements. I'll do announcements in all the channels, and we'll see each of you hopefully next week, and have a good time until then.
Awesome.
Right.
And by the way, I just stopped the screen share and I killed the Zoom client, and CPU dropped by like 12%, 15%. So there you go. All right. See you, everyone.